But my assumption is if you can do the last 5, then you could do this. We're going to start with number 21. 21. Now, you need to study your 30, 60, 90, 45, 40, and 590 triangles so that you label them well. If you do not label them well, you will miss those questions. That's about half the test. All right, you are standing 125 feet away from a TV tower. My question is, if you're standing 120... Oh, okay, so we're going to go to 21. So instead of a TV tower, we are flying a kite. Freezing, isn't it? Barely. Lizzie, are you willing to be my recorder?
Oh, sure. Sure thing. Wait.
All right.
Is it okay if I turn on ground?
I don't care. Now listen. All right. So you were flying a kite on a bluff. Brian, what should that? Excellent. But you looked it up. That was excellent. So what does that look like, Brian? We are number 21. You're flying a kite on a bluff. What does that mean? What's a bluff? You're above the ground. So here's the bluff. Okay. So there's our person. We're flying the kite, and we're on this bluff. Well, now his eye's too low. I think his eye. There we go. It's his profile. That's his profile. That's his mouth. All right. Now, you somehow managed to dump your kite into a lake below. Okay? So let's draw the lake. Here's the lake below. Okay, and what do you have in the lake? You've got your kite. All right. Now, what is incomplete in this picture? A string. Where does the string go? From his hand
But what threw me off is
to the kite.
that you had so much string. But how do you know if the string is tight or not?
Because there's a current. And it's tugging on the kite. All right. So I think you were lazy and you decided that you were going to sit down to fly this kite. All right? There you are. There's your mouth. There's your head. There's your eye. All right. So you're sitting on the bluff. Now, it was a good thing that there was a surveyor there to give you this information. Wendy, a surveyor tells you that the angle of depression from your position to the kite is 15 degrees. How do I draw that? Okay, and where's that angle of depression? This one? Okay. Why did we draw that line if we could use that angle? Angle of depressions, angle of elevations are always, always, always based on what? Based on what? Horizontal. This is a vertical segment. This is a horizontal segment. The biggest mistake made on all of these problems is, especially the angle of depression, is that kids assume it's this one. This is a vertical. This is a horizontal. That is the angle of depression, which is 15 degrees. The problem is it's not inside the triangle. And I think that's why, because it's not inside the triangle, that kids force it to be here. But there is a relationship between the angle of depression and the angle of elevation. Ethan, what is that? Angle. Okay, I didn't do that very well. Angle of depression, which is here. and the angle of elevation are what?
No, they're alternate.
They're congruent because they're alternate interior. That's how we get the angle into the triangle. All right. It says that you had this little measurer on your little kite string holder that you've let out 325 feet of string. So where would that number go, Ethan? 325. Why do you tell me it's the hypotenuse? Right. He's holding the string in one hand. The other string is attached to the kite. Tara. Yes, you could have taken 90 minus 15 and gotten that angle. That would have been fine. You would still get the same answer. All right. How high is the bluff where you're standing? So that is my unknown, is how high the bluff is. Lucas, where should my variable be? Right, that's going to be the vertical. So the next question is, with respect to angle 15, what is x, Brittany? Not here. With respect to 15, Aaron, what is x? Opposite. All right, let me find a pen. So this is indeed opposite. What's 325, Aaron? That is the hypotenuse. With that identified, I need to know what type of trig function, Lizzie?
Is it sine?
So it's going to be sine of
15.
equals.
Is it 325 for x versus x?
That's my question to you. If you don't know, get your homework.
X over 325.
Why is it x over 325? Okay, that's correct. How do I solve from here? Get calculators out, please, Stephanie. Tell me how to solve. Do we need sine inverse?
No. Oh, wait, just wait. You multiply times 325.
So we're going to multiply both sides by 325. So we need to know what 325 times 15 is. Stephanie's going to give us the answer. It looked like Brian was going to check it. Yep. What did you get, Stephanie?
84.11.
84.11?
Well, unless you round the 6.
Okay. What did Brian get? Okay. So that's how, and that would now I want units, so that's feet. His bluff is 84.12 feet tall. Next question. Madison. All right. So you've got to know your 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90 triangles. This is 4. 4. I'll put quattro. Here we go. All right, so we have P, A, T, T, and they told us that this is 60. I was thinking Pat. Samantha, can you label this in terms of X? What is this? Okay.
Across 30 is x. Then across 60 is x squared root of 3.
Okay.
And then across 90 is 2x.
All right, so that's the first thing that you do. The second thing you do, did that move back to Samantha, or did I not click it? I looked down just as, all right, Elber, PT is 27. Where do I put PT? Where do I put 27? Okay, this is the equation. So you're going to come over here, x square root of 3 equals 27. Whatever side that number falls, that is the equation. That is the one and only equation. After that, it's substitution. Lizzie, how do you disconnect square root of 3 from x? So we're going to divide this side by square root of 3. We're going to divide this side by square root of 3, and we're going to get x equals. Now, square root of 3 is in the denominator. We do not leave it there. How do we fix that, Maria? So we divided by square root of 3. How do I? In the denominator and the numerator. This is going to be 27 square root. What's square root of 3 times square root of 3? Square root of 9. What is square root of 9? So we get 27 square root of 3 over 3. Now that does simplify. What can I simplify here, Maria? You can simplify the 3 and the 27 because they're non-radicals. And 3 divides 27? 9 times. So this is going to be 9 what? All right. So now, what I like to do after this to make sure I don't write new equations, Aaron, is that ask for AP. So AP happens to be X. So what is that going to be, Aaron? Good. All right, so now we're going to go for AT. Stephanie, AT happens to be, AT is 2X. So what do you do? And the only things you can multiply is whole with whole. So that's going to be 18 square root of 3. Number 11. You have at least 2 of these type of questions on your test. All right. So on 11, it's the correct placement of a line that you do that's not currently on here. They told us those are right angles. They've told us that this is 13. This is A. This is 19. This should be a big clue. You see a 30, and this whole thing is B. All right, this is number 11. You need to draw in a very strategically placed perpendicular. Maria, where would that go? Okay, what did that form? A 30, 60, 90 triangle. So what we do from here is label the sides in terms of X. Wendy? What is this angle? This one? No, this angle. Okay, now label in terms of X. All right, now setting 2x equal to A doesn't help us, does it? Because it's not a number. Now, this figure right here is a figure you learned about probably in first grade, second grade, third grade, all the way through middle school. And I'm sure that, how do we know it's not a square? Because 13 and 19 are unequal. However, the properties of the square and rectangle are going to be similar. So this is the deal. If everybody has said squared today. All right, Caitlin, if this is 19, what must this be? 19. So that means that this is 19. There's your equation. X is equal to 19. Do I have to do any fancy solving like we did on the last problem with this? Miriam's not here. Lizzie? Wait a minute. Do you have to solve? No. It is already solved. So if we're going to go for A, what do we do, Lizzie? 2. It's 2x, which is means what? 2 times what? 19. What's 2 times 19?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'd already written it. All right, so that's 38. Caitlin, if this part up here is 13, what is this part right here? 13. All right, back to our 30, 60, 90 triangle. Caitlin, you did such a nice job on the last one. If this is x square root of 3 and x is 19, how long is this? 19 square root of 3. We are ready for B. So for B, Lizzie, if this is 19 square root of 3 and this is 13, what's B? Yes. 19 square root of 3 plus Now, you cannot physically add those. That's the best it gets because this is treated as a variable. If you had had 19x plus 13, would you have combined those? No. So treat that square root of 3 as one of those variables. Stephanie. 23. I like the word problems.
Yeah, let's do 12.
Right now we've got 23. All right. So, Stephanie, an airplane is flying at a height of 2 miles above the ground. What should I draw? An airplane is flying 2 miles above the ground. What should I draw? I need an airplane, and I need the what? The ground, correct? What does it mean for this airplane to be 2 miles above the ground? Stephanie? Yes. That means from the ground to the airplane is 2 miles. All right, so that took care of the first sentence. Second sentence. The distance along the ground from the airplane to the airport. Here is the airport. All right. Is 5 miles. Where does my 5 go? Let me finish my triangle. Lizzie, where's my 5 going to go?
Wait, what's the number?
It says the distance along the ground from the airplane to the airport is 5 miles.
The airport is on the ground?
Okay, the key word here is what? On the ground. So the 5 is going to be there. This is not on the ground. It's the distance on the ground. All right, the question now is, what is the angle of depression from the airplane to the airport? Maria, where is the angle of depression?
Well, first you do a horizontal line,
Okay,
and then we don't know what it is, so it's X.
so but is it here or is it here?
It's here. Always the first here.
The first here.
Yeah.
So you told me that's X. Now, that is not inside my triangle. How does it get inside my triangle?
Alternate interior.
Alternate interior angles are congruent. All right, with that said, with respect to angle X, Hale, what is opposite and what is adjacent? Oh, but wait a minute. Which of these? So let's identify.
Opposite is 2.
Okay, and 5 is?
Adjacent.
Right. If you don't identify these well, you get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so the next question, Samantha, is what trig function? Tangent. How do you set it up? Samantha?
Tan X
Mm-hmm.
equals 5 over 6. No, 2 over 5.
2 over 5. All right, because it's opposite over adjacent. Madison K, L, how do I solve this from here?
Do the opposite.
What do you mean? Tan inverse? And the tan inverse must be from the left. All right, what happens to tan inverse and tan, Alexandra? Not here. Tan inverse tan. Hale, what happens?
They cancel.
They cancel out, leaving us with just x. So now I need someone to do tan inverse of 2 divided by 5. Brittany's not here, so let's go for Erin. You got 78.
I got 21.8.
Let me see what buttons you pushed. First period we got 21 point something. What was it?
8.
Let's do what you did. Okay, I think you have to do 2 divided by 5 equals. Try that. Divided by 5 equals. Now do tan inverse. Yeah. Okay, because order of operations, it only took tan a part of that.
We do 22.
22. Yes. Okay, so you're going to do 2 divided by 5 equals.
All right, 2 divided by 5 equals.
And now do second tan.
Oh,
Okay. All right. We're now going to do 22. I like the ones we have to draw. He raised his hand. I do one at a time. I don't do more than one. He did. Again, one at a time. 22. Suppose a tree 50 feet in height cast a shadow of 60 feet in length. Okay? So, Maria, I need a tree. So, how should I draw my picture? We got a tree that's 50 feet high casting a shadow of 60 feet long.
So you draw a shadow.
Where's the shadow?
Because the sun is on the left side.
Okay. So we're going to put the sun up here. And now, how do I draw the shadow?
From the bottom of the tree to the right.
From the bottom of the tree to the right.
Oh.
Okay. And then the sun has rays, correct?
Correct.
And from here, it hits the top of the tree, and my shadow's too long. There you go. All right, so I'm going to suppose a tree 50 feet in height cast a shadow 60 feet long. So I need to know where 50 and 60 go, Maria.
The 50 goes on the left.
Okay.
Then the 60 goes from the shadow.
The question is, what is the angle of elevation? Angle of elevation, Samantha? Where is that?
It's where the sun meets the ground.
Excellent. So now, with respect to x, I need to know who is opposite, who's adjacent. Samantha?
Opposite would be 50.
Opposite is 50, and adjacent would be 60. After we make that determination, now we need to know, Bryce is not here. Try this again. Lucas, what trig function would this be? So tan what? Is equal to 50 over 60. All right, so now how do we solve this trig equation? Madison KL? So we're going to tan inverse this side. We're going to tan inverse this side. What does tan inverse do to tan, Aaron? Leaving us with x equals. Now I need to know what that is. Caitlin? 39.81 degrees. Is that what we all got? Okay. Maria? Wait a minute. Yes. No. I'm not going to send you every day. You ask me every day. No. Between classes. 12. All right. On 12, we got another one of those where you have to do a what? Strategically placed segment, right? That is not currently drawn. So I think it looks something like this, where they've told you that that's 90, that's 90. They have told you that this is 45, this is B, this is A, this is 11, and this is 30. All right. So, Stephanie, where should I put my strategically placed segment? This way? So you want me to do this? Over to there? Is that a right angle? Do I have a right triangle? I need a right triangle.
Go right down. Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that this is a what? A right angle, right triangle. All right, if you need to, turn your paper to see it. Brian, what is this angle? Okay, what is this side? Dotted line, with respect to x. What is this segment right here from here to here? x, and what is this side of hypotenuse? X squared root of 2. And again, this is not useful because we've got b. Because I need to be able to, that's the only way I can make them harder. Lucas, what kind of figure is this? Okay, so if this bothers you, Brian, turn your paper so it's not. Oh, okay. So, Lucas, if this is 11, what is this side? 11. There is your equation right there. We know x is equal to 11. Is there any equation solving to be done to solve for x, Ethan? No. So if that is 11, can you tell me, Ethan, what this segment right here is? 11. All right. So where are we going to go from here? Let's go for b. How do I find b, Maria? B is x square root of 2. We know x is 11, so 11 square root of 2. So now we need a up here. If I want to find a, Lucas, what is the length from here to here?
30 minus 11.
It's going to be 30 minus 11, because we take the whole minus the part, and that's going to be 19. How does that relate to the a, Samantha? It is a. Why is it a? What figure is this? Rectangle. Opposite sides are equal. Next question? Yes. 24. A bird sits on top of a lamppost. Okay, before I read any further, what do we draw, Ethan? We draw a lamppost. Oh, let me get solid. We're going to draw a lamppost. And is there anything else we have to draw? We need a bird on top. So here is our bird on top of our lamppost. Oh, I guess I didn't put the little... So I guess maybe... Does it? This is 24. So there's my little lamppost. There's the light. There's the bird sitting on top of it. This is number 24. Yeah, yours looks a little bit better, though. All right, so from here, Elber, what have I not drawn that needs to be drawn? Or the ground, okay. And then we have... It says the angle of depression from the bird to the feet of an observer standing away from the light post. So before I go any further, what else do I have to add to my picture? Samantha? I need an observer. So here's my observer. All right, there he is. He's looking up at the bird. Okay, so I need to draw in another line. And how am I going to draw that line? Mackenzie.
Angle of elevation.
Wait a minute. I need to draw a line. It says the angle of depression from the bird to the feet of the observer. Right. And it's important. It's not to his head or his eyeball. It's to his feet. Okay, that was important. All right, so now we need an angle of depression from the bird. How do we draw that, Madison? K? I? Start with a horizontal, then what? Horizontal down. They told us that this is 35 degrees. So how do I get that 35 degrees inside my triangle, Lizzie?
It would be by the
Why? Right, alternate interior angles. Now listen to this one. It says the distance from the bird to the observer is 25 feet. Where do I put 25, Lucas? Where's that? Vertical, horizontal, hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, all right? Placing these numbers is important, and it's all about reading the question. They didn't say that, that the pole was 25 feet tall. They didn't say along the ground was 25. They said from the bird, which is up here, to the observer, which is down here, is 25. That's got to be your 25. Now they want to know how tall is the lamppost, so where is my variable x going to go? Tara?
X is going to go
Vertical. All right, so now with respect to 35, I need to know what x is. Mackenzie?
the opposite,
And what is 25?
adjacent. I mean, hypotenuse.
Which? This is 90.
Which one?
Right. Is it adjacent or hypotenuse?
Uh,
Okay, it is next to 35, but usually I tend to identify my hypotenuse first so that I don't confuse the two. All right, so now we need to know what trig function we're going to be using, and that goes to Mackenzie. Yes, and how do we set that up? Sine 35 equals, all right, so now that we've got that set up, how do we begin to solve that? Madison King? So we multiply this side by 25, we multiply this side by 25. All right, so what is my x, Madison KL? 14 point what? 34. All right. And that is feet, degrees, meters. It is meters. Did I mix up? Oh, okay. So I apologize that I mixed my, it says feet and it says meters. Hopefully I didn't do that on the test. So we'll do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I didn't mean to mix metric with the other. Oops. Next question. Yes, sir. 17. On 17, I'm asking just for the ratio, just to see if you know the ratio. And I think I put a question like this on the test, which is really stupid because you're going to have the sheet. It gives you everything. But anyway, if I tell you that this is D, O, G, and this is little o, this is little g, this is little d, and I'm asking you on 17 for cosine d. First thing you have to do is there's my d. So where is the hypotenuse on this figure, Brittany? Not here. Where is the hypotenuse, Stephanie? G. There's the hypotenuse. Next question. With respect to D, what is opposite and adjacent? Mackenzie?
Little d would be opposite.
And? Okay. So if I want cosine D, what would that ratio be, Aaron? Which is O over what? Right. That's all you had to do. But, I mean, it was all about, you know, recognizing who's adjacent and opposite, and if you look at O, they switch. All right, Stephanie. 13. Okay, this does the last of our trapezoids. How many trapezoids do you have on the test? That'd be nice. You have at least 2. All right, this is 13. So we are told that that's 90, this is 90, this is 8, this is A, this is B, this is 30, and this whole thing is 15. All right, again, we have to place a strategically located segment. Lucas, where would that be? Then where? Perpendicular. There's my right angle. So I need to know, we've had lots of them. Miriam.
Wow.
Mackenzie. What is this angle right here?
The top one?
Right there.
60.
60. Okay, what is this side in terms of x?
3x.
What is this one?
X square root of 3.
Okay. And what is this one?
2x.
Again, if we set those equal to each other, it's not going to get us anywhere because there's two variables. All right, Tara, what special figure do we have here? We have a rectangle. So if this is 8, what is this? There is your equation. X equals 8. Now, on the simple ones, you all tend to want to make those hard. Is there any equation solving to be done, Tara? No, there's not. So now I need to, let's go for B. Wendy, what is B? And if X is 8, what are you going to have? All right, so we got B. Now if this, let's see. So I need to know what this green one is, Madison King. How long is this segment? So if it's x squared root of 3, what is it going to be? 8 square root of 3. All right, I need to know this length right here. If the whole thing is 15 and this little piece is 8 square root of 3, how do I find that new length? Tara. This one right here.
Take 15 and subtract 8 times square root of 3 is equal to A.
And that is equal to A because if this segment is A, then this segment is A. And can we do anything more to this? Well, we're not going to go to decimals. Why would you do that? Decimals are ugly. That's an exact value. All right, other questions? Yes, Lizzie.
Number 8.
Number 8 is a 45, 45, 90. I don't think we've done one of those yet. So we're going to have a dotted line triangle. They're kind of nice looking. Okay, this is NEM. They gave us these two marks. What do those two congruent sides tell us, Ethan? Shh. What do these two congruent sides tell us? That these two angles are equal, and since 90 is used up, we have to put those in. With respect to, or in terms of x, Caitlin, how do we label this? What is this side? What is this side? What is this side? All right, excellent. So now on number, am I doing 8 or 9? Okay, Caitlin, on number 8, they have told us that NM is 17. Where do I put 17? So 17 goes on this side. This is our equation. So we say x square root of 2, ladies. I'm going to take homework passes away, equals 17. So now how do I solve for x, Aaron? Okay, so we're going to divide both sides by square root of 2. So we have x is equal to 17 over the square root of 2. Is that an acceptable answer? Tara? No. What do you have to do? Top and bottom. So now we're going to have 17 square root of 2. What's square root of 2 times square root of 2? Square root of 4, which is 2. All right. So now we're ready to get the rest of what we need. We need side ME. That goes to Caitlin. ME. What is ME? Because it's x, it's 17 square root of 2 over 2. Last but not least, we need NE. Mackenzie? What is NE?
76.
Because it is also X. I think you probably want to study with it. Am I? Okay. So this will be due tomorrow. Yes. 8:35 is due Wednesday, and I am going to delete some problems from that because I did not get on 8:35. Well, I didn't get it all taught, but I will shorten it.
You're going to shorten